CHICKEN. Use the code chicken in the shop. CHICKEN.
Guys, the Chicken's here bringing another Beach video. In today's video, guys, we have a lot to unpack, so I'm going to try to get to everything. But first, I want to give a big shout out to everyone using the code chicken in the shop. This Friday, we have a solid date, the 31st. I'm doing a live stream on the second channel, giving away $100, lots of gift cards, giveaways for, it's like a raffle kind of thing, I guess, for everyone that's been using the code in the shop. I'm just going to pick a couple people at random that have been commenting that have been using it, or better yet is to send me a screenshot of you actually using it to get a better chance at winning. I'm going to try to do this every 8 weeks or so. See how it goes, but yeah, this Friday, giveaway on the second channel. The second channel is literally just the chicken 2, the number 2. If you type that in, you'll find it. So, what we got today, guys. First off, we have Season 13. You can see it right there. Protos. So let's talk about what this means. We also have a new troop in the game. Dr. Vitamin. So, let's show you guys how to use him. In a couple battles here, and we'll talk about, we'll speculate, well first, okay, let's focus. First we'll talk about Dr. Vitamin, and then we'll talk about what we think the Protos means for Season 13. So, Dr. Vitamin, he's actually extremely overpowered. So, the way he works, he's essentially a medic that also throws in random troop boosts. So, we'll see Bullet here, if I can get the shock launchers off him, or he had a shock mine, I guess. They'll give the troops speed serum. They give them random buffs, and you know there's only so many buffs. So they get health buffs, they get damage buffs, and they get speed buffs, troop movement speed buffs essentially. And they just kind of throw them out at random. So it's basically just like a speed serum plus a healing factor at the same time. It's really cool. Now using them with Bullet probably wasn't the best because they all just focus on Bullet. But we can still see here, we'll throw a Bullet with an energy drink, and with all the Dr. Vitamins on him, he's literally unstoppable. Like, look at how fast, like, consider how much health that Bullet has, and how fast all those Dr. Vitamins were able to heal him up. Pretty crazy. So, yeah, the Dr. Vitamins are absolutely insane. Now, the Dr. Vitamins are technically proto troops, right? They're proto troops just like the... you know, the rocket choppers, the tribal ladies, whatever her name is, the bombardiers were initially, but then they became a permanent troop. So, Season 13 Protos could mean one of two or both things, right? So Season 13 Protos could mean... Now, I'm going to go... here's an idea. Just an idea. Now, I don't actually know what this is going to be just yet. That's another discussion. So, here's the first idea. Season 13 Protos. Now, we've all been complaining, mainly the chicken. Some of us have been complaining that Warships has been too much of a base race. And what we mean when we say this is that all your troops are going to, especially once you get past, like, the first, like... 3-4 engines, like once you get bombardiers essentially, it just becomes who can take down the base the fastest, because we got bombardiers, we got heavy choppers, one or the other. We're easily getting through the base. It just becomes who can flare the quickest, and you know, every battle seems to come down to like a handful of seconds. People have been complaining about that because it's not as fun to play that day in, day out. It gets kind of stressful. We don't need to get into explaining that. It's just kind of so you understand the point of view. So a way around that, I've actually seen suggested by some of you guys, I forgot to not bring Bullet on this one, was to have more powerful defenses to slow down the offense. And a way to do that would be to simply introduce more prototype defenses. So I think that's a way that... you know, it's possible. We could see tons of doom cannons, and grapplers, and shock blasters, and hot pots, microwavers, and things like that, or just extra ones. Or maybe at the multi-node you get 3 of them instead of 1. That would definitely slow down a lot of the attacks. Now, to make every defense a prototype defense, probably a little bit too strong the other way. But I think it's possible, anyway, for some sort of you know, for them to just simply add more prototypes to try to boost up the defense. I think that's definitely possible. More likely, it's going to be a... now, last season we had... what did we have? Or the season before last season, we had some proto troops, right? We had the tribal lady. She didn't end up being that good. We had critter cannons. Again, didn't end up being that good. So it kind of, you know, it kind of just became, I don't know. It seemed really cool going into it, and we were all speculating on the sneak peeks and stuff that it was going to be, you know, a wild season with all these proto troops. But they ended up kind of sucking. We just ended up using bombers anyways. But we could see some of these new dudes, like this Dr. Vitamin guy, who's actually really strong. So let's show like let's try to do like a warship style attack, I guess, with Mr. Dr. Vitamin. So let's get Kavan out. Let's get Rifle Cryozuka Medic, and let's replace the medics. Obviously, we don't need medics. So if you look at the stats here of Dr. Vitamin, guys, he actually has so his healing per second is 30, unit size is 5. Medics have unit size of 5, healing per second is 33, and they have 1498 health, so they have a little bit less health, a little bit more gold, but other than that, their range and stuff, a little bit less healing per second. 3 healing per second is not a big deal. It's essentially the same. But if you read the info here, so Dr. Vitamin throws vitamins at other troops to boost one or many of their abilities for a short period of time. So he throws out different boosts, and that's, like I said, damage, health, or movement speed. Basically, it doesn't affect their range, doesn't affect anything else before you start the battle. So, yeah, they're pretty crazy. They're pretty crazy. Let's throw out the vitamins instead of the cryoneers as well. Because we don't typically see that, but I think rifles and Zukas will give a pretty good illustration of what these guys can do, because they're actually insanely strong. So we'll use second wind as well. Now let's go 1, 2, 3. We'll get the doctors, the Zukas out, everyone out, just like that. Now I am going to use GBE on the shock launchers, but let's watch this here. Let's throw some medkits down to keep them alive. But yeah, they make the whole army just like very, very, very strong. We'll use a couple second winds here, but other than that, I think we'll just let them kind of fly out. And you see that it's like they're throwing out speed serum. That's kind of what it comes down to. So it makes the swarm troops extremely powerful. So if they do end up being in season 13, if it does end up being like all these proto troops and stuff, it's gonna be really interesting, because it's gonna, I think, drastically kind of change the dynamic of the gameplay. Now, don't let your riflemen run into hot pots. The vitamin doctors aren't that strong that you can just ignore everything. But we got to be careful here. Boom, oof! Look at that doctor. We got a lot of second wind though, so we'll bring him back. But yeah, Dr. Vitamin, it's very, very good. Very good. I like this as a proto troop, especially that, considering proto troops, they're fun, goofy troops that you bring to the game for a short period of time. Make them strong, make them crazy, and do the same thing on warships, But if they only bring in proto troops and they're like Dr. Vitamin and they're way too strong, it's just gonna make it more of a base race. So we'll kind of see how that plays out. Anything that's new, I think, is good and it's exciting. I'm not, down on that. But if they do, they could just be proto troops. It could just be the proto tanks. It could just be the critter cannons, the rainmakers, and the lasertrons. It could just be those, which kind of don't end up, again, going back to the base race. They kind of don't end up really being in the meta, because they're a little bit slow. But if it's a little bit more balanced, say there's more prototype defenses on the base, then I think that's definitely an interesting alternative, if nothing else. It's definitely cool to see. All right, let's go 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's just throw everybody out kind of randomly. And shock. This guy has his hammerman base up, so we're gonna try to take advantage of that. And grab the hot pot. Boom. There we go. It seems like it's been a while since we've done player bases, yeah? But it's cool. It's all good. Yeah, VP is a little bit low. Down at 300-ish. But it was proven a long time ago. I'm not sure if it's still valid or not, that having low victory points actually ranked you up better in the matchmaking warships. After this season, I don't know what to believe, but apparently that was helpful. Alright, let's flock them over this way. Come on, dudes. We got the second winners. We got the Dr. Vitamins. So you see right here, you can see them throwing the vitamins out. They're making the riflemen that much stronger, that much faster. And yeah, so Dr. Vitamin, very cool proto troop. Let me know what you guys think of him down below in that comment section. Interested to hear your thoughts on that. And yeah, boom, crazy bombs goes down. Back. So let me know what you think of that down below in the comments, guys. As always, thank you so much for watching. That is a wrap up video today. Thank you to everyone who has been using the code chicken in the shop. It does help support the channel a little bit. I do appreciate it, and I'm gonna be giving back this Friday to you guys that have been using the code. So thank you again. That is a wrap up the video today. Make sure to leave a like if you found it interesting, entertaining, or informative. And we'll see you next one, guys. Chicken out. Back.